It's 5, 4, 8.
Welcome in, guys, to the Daily Spiral. Eli, why would you be in trouble?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if I'm Love Island Cape at this point. I don't know if I try to watch as much as I can, Autumn, and as we had talked about it, it's like some of the things are a little too real right now. But I did understand that Casey's misunderstood.
No, we're not gonna do that.
I understand that Casey's misunderstood. So
We're gonna talk about that soon. I actually want to hit on sports before we hit on Love Island. I think we're gonna save Love Island for last
okay.
because we need to. We're gonna talk about Love Island last. We got to talk about sports first because number one tonight is the NBA draft. We had a new number one draft pick. We've had a ton of moves in the NBA. But we have to start off with the biggest move of last night.
Yeah.
And that was Julius Randle getting traded because the Minnesota Timberwolves were for sure thinking that they are going to get Giannis Antetokounmpo. Then that doesn't happen, and Giannis Antetokounmpo has now ended up in Miami. Not only has he ended up in Miami, he has ended up in Miami with a haul of Miami players that Miami, for a very long time, definitely were not going to give up. So, the Bucks traded Giannis and Bobby Portis to the Heat for Tyler Hero, Khalil Ware, Jaime Hawkins Jr. Mess this man's name up. I already know. I'm trying to say it all day. Kasparis, Jonas, 3 first-round picks, and 1 pick swap, and 1 second rounder.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy, to think. I feel like this has been going on for months. I mean, it may be a year and a half now, 2 years, where the Giannis talk, but really hot in terms of like the buzz around it the last 3-4 weeks since the playoffs kind of started getting to the conclusion here, Autumn. And I guess this is what ultimately a lot of people expected. Boston snuck in late. They thought maybe they could offer Jaylen Brown and a couple first rounders where it was a discussion point, but ultimately Milwaukee said, no, we'll take the young players. We'll take the rebuild opportunity. Jaquez Jr., some of these other guys, obviously Khalil Ware is very talented. That's why he got an extension with Miami. But I think this was the right move for the Milwaukee Bucks, and for the Miami Heat, you kind of go for it all right now with their front court. You got Bam Adebayo there. Now you have Giannis. The only way you're going to really get any better is by free agency because they have no capital to really get off and get another trade going. So you wonder who's going to go there. Is LeBron going to maybe entertain Miami? Austin Reeves is out there. Other than that, we were looking yesterday on primetime. It's Bradley Beal and maybe a few other guys, but not too many options out there.
I'm just going to explain this very, very carefully, y'all. LeBron is not going back to Miami Heat. He is not going back to Miami Heat. It has everything to do not only with the way he left, but the restrictions that franchise has is the reason why he left in the first place. So I think we should he's not going back to the Heat. I think if anything, it's really between like two teams. It's really between if he wants to stay with LA or if he wants to retire in Cleveland. That's literally what I think with the LeBron situation. But with this Giannis situation, this now makes Miami, it turns Miami from one of the youngest teams in the league to now one of the oldest teams in the league. They traded away literally every single young player they had. I mean, Tyler Hero has been an all-star a couple times. He showed up in that bubble championship that they had. He was kind of their number 2 option after Jimmy left. And now Bam is their number 1. Now, I know Bam did have that 83-point game, okay? We all know he had the 83-point game. That 83-point game, I talked about it. Everybody talks about it. It happened. Bam is a good player. He's an all NBA player. I'm curious to see how he fits in with Giannis, and I'm curious to see what the Miami Heat do after this because, like you said, they literally have no cap space. They have nothing. They cannot go get anyone. And this is not like a Jimmy Butler situation where you could do a sign and trade and you can get like a guy finesse like that. You literally have to, they're going to have to look hard, like hard for someone to take a huge pay cut.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, and I mentioned it yesterday on primetime. There's maybe a move where Miami's like, all right, let's secure the bag. Let's get Giannis in here. Let's see what we can do to win a championship this year. But then next year, we're going to be able to really make some more moves, add more in that offseason, and go from there. So I'm curious to see what Miami looks like. I'm curious to see some other moves, too. You know, Jaylen Brown is definitely done as a Boston Celtic. You know, what are they going to get for him? It kind of makes it a little dicey with him being disgruntled and there being so much open discussion about him not wanting to be there, Boston shopping him for Giannis. But I'm just curious what these other Eastern Conference teams are going to look like, you know, because you mentioned with the draft tonight, AJ DeBanza to Washington. That's another team where it's silly, you know, that we're having a conversation about the Washington Wizards, it feels like, but they have Trae Young, Anthony Davis, DeBanza now. You know, every team is getting better. Indiana gets Halliburton back this upcoming season. So it's like, what if you're the Cavaliers, what are you going to do? And what are these other Eastern Conference teams going to do to match this Giannis move? And it's still the Knicks. I mean, the Knicks, they've been very clear. James Dolan said, we're not going into the second apron. I can write a big check. I'm not going into the second apron. So what does it look like for the Knicks in terms of trying to run it back as Eastern Conference champions, as NBA champions?
Well, we know the Knicks aren't really going to do much of anything. I mean, they're kind of they're gonna be the exact same team. They're gonna literally run it back. I mean, they're not gonna do anything different. They haven't done anything different. They literally were gonna ask Jalen Brunson to take a pay cut. I think with the Cavs, with the whole Giannis trade, I wouldn't try to go after Jaylen Brown. That's just, he just, to me, doesn't fit in with the team. I think you swing for the fences and try to go for LeBron. LeBron is kind of the missing piece that you need. You have the veteran leadership. You have the guys who can come off the bench. You have the young players. You just really need one guy to really come in, finish it out, close it out. And I think it's LeBron. If LeBron resigns with LA, which it looks like he kind of will, which I don't think he should. I think LA is not really a situation where he can win right now. I think the Cavs are probably going to do the same of like looking during the trade deadline like they did last year of like, what can we get for a veteran that we need in the middle of the season that'll come in here and give us a spark. Honestly, the East is kind of a little weird now. I don't know because I don't know how this Miami thing is gonna go. Like every time I think of a trade like this with a superstar like Giannis, I think of like if this would have happened like 2 years ago.
Right.
If this would have happened 2 years ago, I would have been like, "Ooh, this is great! Like I'm excited." But he's had injury history.
Yeah.
He's not been the same player that he was a couple years ago. He's also 30. So you have to like think about is he going to be the same player that he was in Milwaukee that he will be in Miami?
Yeah, you know, there is a lot of questions, Autumn. It is really going to be interesting to see what they do to add around. You know, Trey Murphy is out there. I don't know if they have enough capital to be able to go get him, but Trey Murphy's out there. There's some other guys that could impact this team and help shape out the rest of the roster. You know, Kyle Cornell on Unfiltered mentioned earlier about, you know, the lack of shooting in Miami. And I'm just curious to see what they do to add to that roster. You see some other teams that are just making moves to get better. And for the Cavaliers, I don't know. When it comes to LeBron, I just don't know if the Cavaliers are what he's looking for. You know, he's big on where his family wants to go. His family's very comfortable in California. I think he would rather go play with Steph Curry a guy who's always been cool with, and Draymond Green. They've always been cool off the court, despite the rivalry on the court. I could see that. I could see Miami before I do see Cleveland, just because those teams I think are more interesting for him. He has a history in Miami with Bam Adebayo, Team USA. Him and Giannis have always had mutual respect for each other. And then, like I mentioned, Golden State. I think the Lakers thing really is dependent on Austin Reeves. If Austin Reeves decides I'm going to get more money elsewhere, then he's going to probably leave and go be a number one option in a different city for the first time in his career. And that's going to dictate where LeBron goes. But I just think for the Cavs, I don't know.
No, I don't think the Golden State thing. I think Golden State is in a weird predicament. They're an older team now, which is crazy to say that they're an older team. Golden State, to me, really, he doesn't like fit in with that, because it like, to me, it gives another like Kyrie situation of like, here's Steph Curry, he's ball dominant, he needs the ball. That's the thing, he needs to shoot. And then with LeBron is also incredibly ball dominant. And when you play with LeBron, and this is what anybody needs to know, LeBron is very much, when he gets in the zone, he is ISO ball 100%. He will not share that ball. And Golden State is very much a ball sharing team. It goes through Steph Curry, and they will give it to Steph Curry. But if Steph Curry is not hitting, they know that they need to share that ball. So I honestly, like I said, Miami, I know the Bam and the Giannis looks great, but you also have to think about, you're still going to be an older team. Like the other two teams outside of LA is like, you're an older team. I think the Cavs is that you're not that old, but you're not that young. You got enough players with some history. You got James Harden probably being the oldest team player on that team. You got some young guys who got a little spark under them because they made the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know. I think Austin Reeves is probably going to leave. I don't expect him to stay, for real. I think the Lakers are just kind of like middling. I think they got Luka, and they're just like, whatever, we got Luka, LeBron's gonna stay, and they really don't care. I mean, they let Alex Caruso go, and he was pretty essential to their team.
Right.
And look
right.
what he did.
Yeah. No, 100%. So it is going to be interesting, but I guess the big thing with LeBron too is, does he view Cleveland, besides the nice story that it would be him coming back home, finishing his career here? Is he seeing an opportunity with James Harden, with Donovan Mitchell, with two guys that are ball dominant as well? They never really worked too well off the ball. Both of those guys have needed the ball in their hands. That's why late in the playoff run, it was kind of like who's going to have the ball in their hands. And we saw a lot of James Harden at points. We saw Donovan Mitchell at points, but it never seemed to flow. You had LeBron in there. That's kind of the same discussion I guess we're having. I don't know if it matters to him in terms of longevity. I think truly he's just looking to play with guys that he enjoys playing basketball with. Is that going to be Donovan Mitchell? Is that James Harden? I think it's more likely that he, like I said, he winds up in Golden State playing with those guys, or if he winds up in Miami just because of the mutual respect and him playing with Bam on Team USA. And Bam's not a ball dominant guy. He can play pretty well off the ball, so that does give him a lot of opportunity there. So we'll see. I mean, it's just going to be interesting. I don't think he's the next domino to fall. I think Jaylen Brown gets moved before anything else really happens. Oh, yeah. But then I do think LeBron, Kawhi, you'll start seeing those types of moves as well. So,
well, with the Kawhi situation, nobody's going to touch him with a 20-foot pole until that whole I forgot aspiration. Yeah, that whole aspiration story is really like cleared up, because the whole mess around his uncle, and his uncle wants a contract, and that whole thing. I think Kawhi is going to be out there for a bit. I do think Jaylen Brown is going to be the next on the move. Them dangling him like a carrot in the middle of that trade probably was enough for him to say, I've just spent a whole year carrying this franchise after Jason Tatum busted his Achilles. The year before, I won the finals MVP, and now you want to trade me because you think Giannis is better than me. Even though Jaylen Brown was very much in the conversation for MVP this year. If I was him, I would be very insulted, and I would be willing to take my talents elsewhere.
Yeah, I think Jaylen Brown's ready to become that leader, on a team. All no discussion, no debate. Like, I'm the guy. in this city. This is my team. And I think that should be, in a way, like hey, cool. If you feel like you can get Giannis, like I'm the guy to go get a guy in this caliber, then some teams view me as a star as well. So I'm with Jaylen Brown. It's going to be interesting. I do think he ends up in Minnesota. I truly do. I've continued to say that for the last day or so since Midnight Run. Yesterday, I think even on primetime I mentioned it, but just all last night. Hey, like Jaylen Brown is going to end up in the same backcourt as Anthony Edwards. They just moved off Julius Randle, freed up a ton of space, so they can now carry a contract like that. Anthony Edwards has never had a backcourt mate like Jaylen Brown, who's in his prime. Now, Mike Conley's done good there on him, but this is really somebody that would amplify the offense and create something where maybe Minnesota is getting past the second round. Maybe they're getting back to the Western Conference Finals. They got to do something, though, because if they don't, Anthony Edwards is the next mid-market, mid-level team to move off of their star. So,
yeah, I think he probably does go to either. I think he goes to Minnesota. I think Golden State definitely probably will also make a run at him. I think the Lakers will probably also make a run at him. I think any team that thinks they're one piece away from a championship will make a run at him. I do think Minnesota is financially and with the team built the way that it's built is probably its best, because we know especially Dante DiVincenzo is going to be out for a year. No more Julius Randle. They have a really good defense, and if you put Jaylen Brown on that team, you have sort of a fail-safe for Anthony Edwards, because you know that Anthony Edwards has also been injury prone over the last couple of years. So I do think that is true. I do think that Minnesota is probably where he's going to end up. Now, Eli.
Yeah, what's up?
When we come back.
Yes.
We will talk about the second biggest story of sports, the one that I was completely right about, because I am always right. We will talk about one Mr. Brendan Sorsby and how the NFL literally said, yeah, this ain't happening. And then we're going to get to Love Island, of course. And then, of course, I'll give you my good spiral and bad spiral of the day. Of course, if you guys are watching this here on the Daily Spiral on Inside Edge Network, we'll be right back after these messages from our sponsors.
Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and, well, everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to Fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. That's Fanatics.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Small business owners are superheroes, but nowadays running your business means doing so inside your shop and on social media. That's why you should make Omega Video Marketing your sidekick.
With a decade of content creation experience, I create dynamic, informative, and fun videos for your specific social needs that will increase brand awareness, get you more followers, and keep your social pages and websites current and fresh.
I offer flexible pricing and turn times and will work with you to understand your brand and your story. All of that comes from the heart. My award-winning expertise is just the cherry on top. So let's get connected. After all, your brand is the alpha and my expertise is the omega.
Discover our collection of handcrafted candles. That's right, every product is thoughtfully created in small batches free from harmful toxins for mindful everyday indulgence. Our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, offering a long-lasting burn and rich fragrances. Create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home with candles from Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers use the promo code INSIDEEDGE20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network. Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife, Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at monstermomentsphotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. monstermomentsphotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
Welcome back to Davis Power, everyone. Let's talk about the NFL's biggest story right now. No, it's not Myles Garrett. No, it's not anything other. Like, it's not a player, getting arrested, because every single week somebody gets arrested in this league. It's Brendan Sorsby once again. And if you don't know who Brendan Sorsby is, Brendan Sorsby was the quarterback for Cincinnati. He then goes into the transfer portal and transfers to Texas Tech. Before he can play a game at Texas Tech, he comes out and says, hey, I'm going to inpatient rehab. I have a gambling addiction. Comes out that he has spent $90,000 on gambling. He placed 90 bets for $1,000 and spent $90,000 on gambling. The NCAA finds this out and they're like, hey, this is our one big rule. Out of all the rules we have, this is our one big rule. You cannot gamble. So the NCAA is like, hey, you can't play. You can't do that. We're suspending you for the year. Brendan Sorsby in Texas Tech is like, great, okay, we're just going to go to this judge in Lubbock who really likes Texas Tech, and he's going to give us an injunction, and I'm going to play.
Yep.
All the teams in the Big 12 and all the teams in college football come together, and they're like, we're not playing you. You're not playing with us. We're going to boycott you. Not only did they boycott him, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. I'm sorry. But the Big 12 themselves came together and said, okay, you want to boycott us? We're going to sue you because you're in violation of our Big 12 rules. So then Brendan Sorsby and Texas Tech came together and was like, you know what? That's not worth it. We can't go through litigation for a year. So he decided to declare for the NFL's supplemental draft. Supplemental draft is not the regular draft. It's a special draft that the NFL holds when certain players go through situations in the off seasons, and teams have the chance to pick up players that, maybe have had some off the field issues, maybe are like just not all the way there. Josh Gordon was one of those supplemental players, you guys, and you see how that worked out for Cleveland. I'm not even joking.
Yeah. I mean, the Browns have quite a few. Bernie Kosar, Josh Gordon, Terrell Pryor. Just some of these guys that, you think of the Browns and their failure to be able to land a lot of talent in the actual NFL draft. The fact that they've been so successful in the supplemental draft is crazy. And Josh Gordon's the same case. I mean, that makes me sad even when you bring it up, because he would be so elite right now. He would not be in trouble. There'd be nothing going on.
All the man wanted to do was smoke some weed and drink some liquor, but y'all didn't want that. So now Brendan Sorsby has finally heard back from the NFL, and the NFL essentially said, hey, we will not be holding a supplemental draft.
Yeah.
Not only because we just are not holding one because they probably don't have enough players that entered. You're in violation of rules. And so I saw AA's comments on his rundown, and I want to talk about this. This is not about the NFL looking at Brendan Sorsby and being like, ooh, we value gambling versus like assault more. This is a PR thing. The NFL decided not to hold this supplemental draft for PR purposes.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that and the fact that these teams really didn't get enough time to vet the situation, look at Sorsby, see what exactly the risk is. I mean, the risk is pretty clear. In any team,
gambling, yeah.
yeah, any team that is a bad football team should not be taking a chance on this guy, because of the noise it would bring to your locker room, the trust factor, and the pressure. If Sorsby can really handle the pressure of being a starting NFL quarterback, the fact that this was going to be a draft that happened on or before July 16th, you're going to get it roughly about a week, before training camp. You get training camp, a few preseason games, and then you're out on the field more than likely. It just never seemed like it was going to make a ton of sense. So, I've been seeing it all over Twitter, in discussion over social media about, hey, this is, good for the Browns, good for other bad teams, that the NFL kind of saved them from themselves because somebody was going to take a chance on Brendan Sorsby. We started getting worried, obviously, as far as even last night, just discussing it on Midnight Run about Brendan Sorsby being the reason that maybe Shedeur Sanders wouldn't be in town if the Browns went that route. But yeah, now we're at a point where Brendan Sorsby is going to have to try to enter the 27 draft class, go up against guys like Dante Moore, Arch Manning, and go from there. But yeah, it was a little worrisome there for a moment.
Yeah, so now the NFL essentially made it very clear to him that there will be no supplemental draft. He will now have to submit himself for the 2027 draft, which means he will not play football for an entire year. He will not play football for an entire year. He will not be seen for an entire year. He will not have a pro day. He will not have a whole season to really show his stock as a quarterback. Now, again, like I said, this is not about the NFL cowering sort of to the rules of college football. The NFL is not college football. I want to say that. The NFL has made it very clear they are not college football. College football takes things so seriously that you're taking it a little too seriously. The NFL is kind of in a different way of things that they should take seriously, they definitely don't, and things that are not that serious, they take way too serious. But in this case, this is the NFL being like, hey, we see all the noise around him. We cannot have another PR nightmare because they have been having a PR nightmare of a summer so far. It has been one of the worst PR summers for the NFL. The amount of players a week I see that get arrested for domestic violence and assault is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it makes you wonder, where is the punishment for some of these other guys for some of the things they're dealing with, like you mentioned. But with Sorsby, it is a PR disaster. The integrity of the game being questioned. What if this happens again at the NFL level? Now we're having a discussion like the NBA is having right now with Damon Jones, Terry Rozier, and Chauncey Billups, having those types of discussions. So you just can't have it happen. You give him a full year, you kind of let the stench wear off a little bit, and he gets chosen among the other guys that I mentioned earlier, and we go from there. But yeah, as far as Brendan Sorsby, he unfortunately did this to himself. You can kind of keep running around and trying as many loopholes as you want, but eventually people are going to say, hey, this is questioning the integrity of the game. And if we go and play you or whatever, how does that look on us? And I feel bad for Texas Tech a little bit too, because I don't think they expected all of this. I mean, he had been brought in, and then it was a few months after, a month or two after, all this stuff broke. So by them leaning into it and being like, well, he didn't do anything necessarily bad. He just did, the gambling. It kind of makes him look like the bad guys in all this as well.
Yeah, I think that Texas Tech really definitely didn't know how bad it was. They probably knew something because every team knows something about a player, but I definitely don't think they knew it was as bad as betting on your own team, because he definitely did that. He admitted while he was at Indiana that he placed bets on Indiana.
Right.
We know that he definitely also did it in Cincinnati. So you have a guy who's not really being forthcoming. He was a number one transfer portal quarterback. He gets to your team, and now you have to do with the shitstorm because he just doesn't want to be honest. And I feel bad for them just a slight bit, but Texas Tech is also in a very interesting situation because they have a ton of NIL money. Literally, they spent $1 million on their softball program and completely transformed that into a powerhouse. So they have the ability, if they want to bring in another quarterback from somewhere at this point in the season and say, here's this amount of money, go out there and play.
Yeah.
Because that's really what the problem was last year with them, is they were quarterback away.
Yeah. No, exactly. And you wonder, like a guy like Dylan Raiola, who's now in Oregon, going behind Dante Moore. where he would have looked at. Maybe he looks at Texas Tech, if not Sorsby. So a lot of just weird situations with college football right now, what this looks like for the Red Raiders there, what it looks like for the Big 12, for college football as a whole. If this happens again, what exactly are they supposed to do? Brendan Sorsby was the example, but you worry about the integrity of the game now at this point, because once it starts kind of happening once or twice, then it can become a regular thing. That's why Major League Baseball is cracking down so hard right now on the Emmanuel Clase situation, because you can't allow that into the sport. So, he made his own bet, unfortunately, but he'll get a chance. He will get an opportunity to be in the 27 draft class. He'll get drafted by somebody. He's talented enough. Somebody will take a chance on him. Hopefully by then the Browns have it figured out, though, whether it is Shedeur Sanders or if their eyes set on somebody that they really like in the draft class. Just hopefully it's not Brendan Sorsby. Hopefully not.
No, Brendan Sorsby will be fine. He'll end up somewhere. He's a mediocre white quarterback. He'll end up somewhere. I mean, if literally J.J. McCarthy can get a job, he can get a job. Okay,
Yeah.
It's not that hard in the NFL. If you're mediocre, you can get there.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think him having a year off, what does he do? Does he go play somewhere else? Because technically he can go play in a different league. If I'm not mistaken, he can go play in the UFL or something like that. Does he go play somewhere else? Does he pull like the route that a few other quarterbacks in history have played and are done and go somewhere else and go enter the NFL draft? Or I don't know. This is going to be
go play in Japan or Australia or somewhere like that, or even Canada, and play in those leagues and have kind of like a kind of like when major basic basketball players go over to China and have big careers in China, and you're like, that's because they're not playing against the best talent in the world. I don't know. I think he'll be fine. Eli, when we come back from the break, we will finally talk about Love Island. I know you're so excited to talk about it. You're so jazzed to talk about it. I'm jazzed to talk about it because we need to talk about the fact that Love Island producers are hitting this out of the park. They really are.
Yep.
But you guys are watching Daily Spiral here on Inside Edge Network. We're also talking about Double A's gluttony as well before his show, because the picture he sent was ridiculous.
I love it.
But we'll get to all of this in the next 5 minutes. But you're watching the Daily Spiral here on the Inside Edge Network.
Keon Sports is the leader in Ohio high school athletic coverage in written, print, and video streaming. From the latest news and results and written content to the high school football game of the week every Friday, Keon Sports has you covered. The vision of 15-time published author Vince McKee has become the most trusted site in Ohio high school athletic news. From podcasts to player profiles, Keon Sports is your one-stop for all of it. Visit them today at keonsports.com or on YouTube at Keon Sports. Check out their socials on Twitter and Facebook as well.
Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code INSIDEEDGE10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. Handcrafted with natural essential oils and clean ingredients, they offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances. Perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you or your special someone. Courtesy of Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers, use that promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Whether searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at SportsMemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, You'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Go to sportsmemorabilia.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. Sportsmemorabilia.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com.
All right, guys, we're back, and it's your favorite time. Let's talk about Love Island, Eli. Eli, did you do what me and Double A said? Also, to all of you who watched Double A's and I's live stream last night, we had so much fun.
Yes.
The episode, breaking that down that way, was so much fun. Thank you to everyone who watched. But Eli, did you listen to us?
I watched as much as I could, Autumn. I watched a little bit.
What did you watch?
Well, I watched enough of tonight's episode to have a grasp on, tonight, because I figured you were going to ask me some questions about tonight's episode.
Mm-hmm.
Watched a little bit of Sunday. It got a little cringe at some point because I got a little nervous. I got a little like, okay, like these guys are just making so many crazy moves, and the women, I mean, like they're kind of they know what they're doing as well. They know what they're doing as well. I thought it was interesting. I didn't watch probably as much as you'd want me to, which is okay. I'm okay admitting that. But I think there are some takeaways. I think that KC, he's not as bad as people make him out.
No. We're not doing that. We're not humanizing him.
I don't think. I just think with KC, it's like he's trying to figure out, first off, he's playing the game correctly. Because if I understand correctly, when we talked about, in the preview and discussing Love Island, it was about playing the game correctly. And he keeps his options open, but he never closes the door for the most part. And that's a big thing I would see in terms of somebody that can go far in this game. And then two, maybe he's just, maybe he's a lover. Maybe he sees somebody, he gets with a different person, and he's just a lover. I don't know. That was my big takeaway. Corbin, they're fighting. Corbin and oh my goodness, hold on. Now I feel like Chad here. Corbin and somebody else are fighting over the same people.
I don't even want to talk about them too.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's break down tonight's episode. Okay. So I know Double A and I kind of like gave you a preview of what we thought was gonna happen. I actually thought they were gonna do this. So they do this Casa versus Villa challenge every year. This is something that happens every single year. They do this. I don't know why people are so surprised. They literally do it all the time. I thought they were actually going to do it Thursday because the way that it would leave off on a cliffhanger of the girls would win. Like, it's always designed for the girls to win. And then they send a video after the girls win to them to see what the boys are doing. Now, tonight's episode, we kind of get the girls talking to the Casa boys a little bit more. Kenzie and Corbin, 100% done. They're both bringing people back. She's gonna bring back, I think his name is Dylan, and he's gonna bring back Pramita, who they messaged each other on Instagram. She literally said, "You don't like." We messaged back and forth. We talked about running, and then you never talked to me, and he didn't even remember. So that just to show you what kind of person Corbin is. Yeah. And then, of course, Caleb got his girl taken again, but then he found another blonde, and he's now with Jaden, which they're not gonna really go far. They're probably gonna be the next out. Who else do we see? We saw Trinity and Bryce just very much simping over each other. The fact that both of them are Casa victims is really hilarious. They're gonna go down in history as two people that you definitely didn't expect to be here. I'm trying to think of who else. I can't believe I have to talk about this man. But we have to talk about Zach and Kata. So Zach, if you guys notice, he didn't get that much screen time, and the girl who he's with also didn't get that much screen time. Eli, do you know why?
I thought it was maybe because they're safe. Maybe because they're because if I understood correctly, when you're like featured a lot, it probably means you're going home or you're on the hot seat for some. And they didn't get a lot of screen time.
No, they didn't get a lot of screen time because she's racist.
That's okay. See, you guys were saying a lot of names yesterday, and
Yeah.
I'm a very new Love Island watcher, so now it makes sense. Yeah, you definitely don't want to feature a racist on your television program.
Yes. So what happened is she got introduced on Sunday. There were racist messages that me and Double A put up. I really don't want to put them up again because I don't want to give that girl any attention. But she got caught saying racist things on video. And then there were there was a post that she said something racist under, and then there was a message that she sent someone that was super racist. And then of course her actions were incredibly racist in the challenge. So there are 4 instances of racism. So the reason why we didn't see them tonight is not because they're safe, is because they're trying to edit her out as much as they could.
But like, wouldn't it? So I guess my thing is like, why wouldn't they just tell her you can't be on the island anymore? Like, because they have kicked people off for that behavior. So I just understand why she's still on the show.
So because of the way the Love Island shoots, so like last year, when everybody found out that Sierra had said something racist, they still had multiple episodes of her. So what they did was like they had one episode where they showed her a decent amount at the beginning, and then they didn't show her at all in the episode, and then the next episode she was completely removed. So that's kind of what they're going to do with this one, because it's very complicated. So Fiji is like 15 hours ahead of us.
Right.
So because they're almost a half a day ahead of us, the show technically shoots a half a day ahead of us. So they shot tonight's episode yesterday.
Okay.
Technically. So it was our yesterday, but they're today.
Makes sense.
And then they have a day off, and then they'll shoot the next episode. Okay. So whatever happened after today's episode, they'll shoot it today, and then whatever happens after Thursday's episode, they'll shoot it the next day after that, and then they don't shoot anything on Friday, and then they'll shoot Saturday is what was going to happen on Sunday, Saturday. It's very complicated.
Yeah, it was a lot to follow, but I'm picking it up here.
Just know Love Island is at least a day ahead. Their shooting is at least a day ahead of us.
Okay, so they're just basically trying to phase her out, essentially. Like, hey, like we're not going to give her any screen time; she'll be phased out. Okay, that makes sense. So what's that mean for Zach then too? He's probably gone. They leave at the same time. Then they're both going to be off the show.
So with Zach, he's probably going to. So honestly, I thought he was going to bring somebody back, but the way he acted in tonight's episode, he's still that English demon. I still don't like him, but him and Kata will probably recouple.
Okay.
Him and Kata will probably recouple, and then come movie night. So movie night is probably going to be next week. It's probably going to be this time next week.
Okay.
Literally.
Okay.
So movie night, they'll probably show all the stuff that Zach did in Casa. They'll probably show all the comments that he said behind the girls' backs. They'll probably show all the conversations that he had with the boys. And I think that will be the thing that breaks them up. For sure.
Okay.
100%.
I mean, it's starting to get like real grimy, I feel like, in the show now. Like, everybody's all like happy and exploring, and now you got like a lot of griminess going on, and it's a long time like couples, for the most part of the show, like being split up. It's kind of crazy. That's the part that like it's kind of sad to see. You know what? The empath in me, it's sad to see that these couples that have been together for 13 14 episodes, 3 weeks. I mean, like, and now they're just gone. Like, and I thought I'd have some good reason for Sincere. I tried watching. I watched tonight. I thought I'd have some good reasons.
No.
There's just not many.
Best Wishes needs to get out. Best Wishes is number 4 on my list. Okay. Number 1 is Casey. Number 2 is Corbin. Number 3 is Zach. Best Wishes is number 4. Okay. He is a liar. He opens his mouth and he just lies. He is a liar.
Yeah.
The way him and that girl tonight, oh my God. The girl seeing a butterfly and saying, I knew a butterfly was going to come and this was going to be a sign from God. I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, Sincere is not your man. Sincere is no one's man. Sincere is for Sincere.
Right. And my thing is too, Autumn, it's like the only thing I could think of to defend this guy is maybe he was like really hurt in the past, maybe before the show. Like maybe somebody hurt him like really bad. And he came onto the show with the intention that, you know what, I'm going to hurt somebody. Actually, I'm going to hurt multiple people on this show. Like maybe that was what it was too. Like that's the only thing I can think of. Because how could you be this wishy-washy on so many different women in 3 weeks of television?
It's not even just wishy-washy. He's openly, literally just like so Melanie's back in the villa. He's telling the boys, I miss her. I miss her so much. I'm so confused on how I feel. And then he's over here dry humping another girl. And it's like, you don't miss her that much if you're dry humping another girl. And she's over here crying, talking about, I miss you. You my man, my man. Like, huh? And then Corey, poor Corey, he really tried to help Melanie tonight. He really tried to tell her, hey, because again, the Casa boys and the Casa girls have seen everything that we've seen.
Yeah.
So they know everything that's happened in the villa. Like so the contestants don't know everything that happens. So like they don't know when people pull each other for chats or anything like that. They don't know anything like that. They just know what their experience is. But the Casa people know what's going on, which is why all the Casa boys tonight were like, the Casa boys won me over tonight.
Okay.
They really did, because I was like, you could tell they genuinely have been watching and they have noticed that these boys do not like them at all. Like, for real. Like, they went in and they were like, these boys do not like these girls. These girls are awesome. We like them, which is why they kept being like they kept complimenting the girls. They kept like I just got the vibe that they actually like them. And the main villa boys don't like women. I'm gonna just say this: they don't like women at all.
It seems like they're really on the game aspect of it, where they're like, all right, we're just gonna match up, try to get to the next round, the next survival, and they're not really falling for the love thing. But in fairness, you told me that was how you play the game. At least one of the ways to play the game. But the thing is, a lot of them are playing the same way. Like there's no different strategies. What I've noticed as well through my watching is they're all kind of running the same game, and only so many of you can make it to the next spot. So it's like you kind of got to switch it up, or just hope you're the best at playing that type of game.
The only one who is not playing the game and who is here for real love, and the man literally cried, is Bryce. Poor Bryce. Bryce literally, every single time tonight, I just saw him. He just looked miserable. He just looked like, get me the hell out of here. And even the Casa girl was like, I see you haven't explored with anyone. And he was like, yeah, I really just miss her. And I'm like, dang, he's not even trying. He's not even trying. That's how down bad he is.
Yeah, he got his heart broken. He's trying his best to recover, but you can't be full love in this type of game. In these reality shows, you kind of got to be a little cutthroat. Yeah, you can feel for somebody, but you gotta shield your heart a little bit, because you're playing for some money too. Like, and I don't know.
That's the aspect of the game. That's why I'm like, I don't trust Zach, because Zach is very clearly trying to get to the end to win the money. That is clearly what he's doing. Like, he literally is playing the game. By the way, every British dude that's ever been on this show has always done that. I don't know what it is about them being game players, but all of the British dudes, outside of Charlie, because Charlie didn't even make it past like 5 episodes. I really feel bad for him, but we got to talk about Casey. I put it off for long enough. We got to talk about him. Casey, I when I tell y'all, I have been right on the money about this man since night 1. I called him a weirdo. I said he made weird faces. I said he just gives me like cringy weirdo vibes, right? Night 1. Night 2, I'm like, okay, like we couldn't like really suss anything out because it was the first challenge. First couple weeks, he was fine because he was really paired up with Anaya. Anaya kind of did the heavy lifting, but the mask started to lift during the paint challenge where the bombshells came in and the girls noticed the different color paint on all the boys. And Ariana asked Casey, how you feeling? And he goes, I'm feeling blessed. And all the girls looked at him like, bro, that's not funny.
Yeah.
And from that moment, it has literally been him just not reading the room at all.
Yeah. Not good for Casey, you know, and you know, he is, I feel like, a little misunderstood because he's kind of just like, what's a nice way to put this? He's kind of an airhead, but
very much.
And he has moments where it's like, all right, man, you're figuring it out, and then he doesn't figure it out, and then it's like, dude, like, and that's I think what keeps him going though, is because like he's such an airhead that you're like he's gonna have one of those moments, and that's why he keeps making it passes because he hasn't done anything like terrible to where he's like terrible. Like he's not on Sincere's level of
Sincere's just a liar. Sincere's a liar to the highest degree. No one in the competition is beating him right now. He is the worst. He's just Sincere is terrible.
It's like Casey's is like bad, but it's like there's levels to this, and I think that's why he's going to keep moving on. I think he's going to be one of the last people standing to be. I don't know about like the last, but I think he'll be in that discussion. I do.
Okay, so what I gathered from tonight's episode about Casey is number 1, he likes none of the girls at all.
Yeah.
He doesn't like he doesn't like Anaya, who he's paired up with in the villa, and he definitely does not like the Casa girls. So he kisses one Casa girl yesterday. Her name was Titi. Mm-hmm. Then he kisses another Casa girl, her name was Sydney. He tells Titi tonight, hey, I'm gonna like sleep with Sydney. And Titi gets obviously angry at him because to her, she came in for him. She let him know, I'm here for you. Like, I vibe with you. I want to be with you. He automatically the next day is like, yeah, I'm going to try this out. I'm like, what are you doing? And then his conversation with Corbin made me say to myself, yo, you are insane. So number 1, he tells all the boys he has nothing in common with Anaya, something that we all knew as an audience. I knew they didn't have anything in common, but I thought she was at least trying with him. Yeah. So you have that. Then you have the fact that he's talking about how nobody was behind his door night 1. Bruh, get over it. I'm begging you, get over it. It's been 3 weeks. Nobody cares. So you're talking about that. You're talking about how, oh, I don't have to beg for kisses in the middle of the night because your girlfriend at the villa doesn't want to sleep in an orgy-filled room. You're talking about all these different things and how your stock is about to go up and everything. And I'm just like listening to him being like, oh my God, he is literally an egomaniac right now.
He is. Yeah, he's a little out of his mind. But I mean, until he gets into a way where he's like trapped pretty much any direction he goes and then he's in trouble, he's going to continue to make it along on the show because he knows how to weasel his way out into the next situation, and he hasn't burned every bridge. There's enough bridges still to burn.
So I'm gonna make the last point of the night. I'm gonna get into my good spiral, bad spiral. We're gonna talk a little bit. I'm gonna ask Double A if he wants to talk about this a little bit too, because Double A is a Casey defender, and I need him to not be a Casey defender anymore. I need him to not be this way. Okay, so disappointing when he is, but the end of tonight's episode, we got no preview for next episode. Usually we'll get a preview, but we got no preview. Now, I think the reason why we got no preview is because the girls are finally going to get that video in the next episode. So in Casa More, they didn't do it last year because nobody really did anything last year. Like it really just wasn't like Casa wasn't like how it usually was. It was mainly just the girls being like whatever. But every single year, while the girls are in Casa, they get a special video. And for certain girls, it really just will expose the boys that they're with. So I think it'll be Anaya getting a video, Melanie getting a video, and maybe Kata getting a video. But for sure, Anaya's going to get a video. And I think her getting that video, it was going to make her say, you know what? I'm done with KC. I'm going to move on with Carl. I hope, because he's not going to come back without one of those Villa girls. He's without one of those Casa girls. He does not like them. He does not like them girls. And in his mind right now, he's like, I'm just doing what I'm doing. But I know Anaya's back there, and I know Anaya's probably thinking of me. And if Anaya gets that video before Sunday, which I think she will, I think she'll either get a next episode or the episode right before. And once she gets that video, it's dust for KC.
I just think he's one of the last 2 or 3 guys remaining. I really do. I think he's going to be one of the. I think you're not going to be happy, Autumn. I'm going to be honest. And I would have said that before Casa More. I would have 100% said he would have been one of the last ones standing. But I think his behavior in Casa More has just shown everybody in the audience because, okay, I will say this. The audience does get to control who goes to the finals. Right. Okay.
And with his behavior, Zach and Corbin's behavior in Casa, none of those 3 are making the finals at all.
So that
and Sincere.
I mean,
Sincere might sneak in there. Sincere might sneak in there because there is a certain portion of the fan base that likes toxic love, but I think if KC continues to do what he's doing and playing with all these girls' emotions and playing with all these girls' feelings, and then trying to come back to Anaya and be like, well, I tested, I explored, and I'm back, I think it's going to go really, really bad for him.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree.
Bring Double A up. We need to talk to you.
I will.
Number one, that picture was gluttonous as hell. I want y'all to understand what Double A sent a picture of. He sent a picture of those, not even real honey buns.
Oh, you can't say that, Autumn. That is a real honey bun.
Hey, this is according to the gas station down the street, the jumbo honey bun.
It's not the honey bun, but it is a honey bun.
So he has gas station honey buns with off-brand peanut butter, and I saw bacon in the picture because he was also gonna make bacon wrapped. What were you gonna make?
Bacon wrap honey bun. I'm gonna say this is gonna be a 2-day project. I'm not doing it all in one night. We're doing this tonight. You hear my coffee? We're doing this tonight. And then tomorrow night, as part of our midnight conversation segment, I'm doing the bacon wrap honey bun.
Y'all, this is the gluttony that they talk about in the Bible right here. This is really what they talk about. When they talk about the gluttony in the Bible, this is what it is.
Hey, I have water.
A peanut butter honey bun sandwich.
It sounds good.
And bacon wrapped honey bun is gluttonous as hell, and it's walking diabetes. That's not the other thing. That's not really what I want to talk to you about.
Yeah, definitely. We have some things.
That was a ladies and gentlemen, PSA. Don't do what I'm doing. I'm gonna run off tomorrow.
His stomach is about to hurt real bad, y'all. I'm gonna just let you know it's about to hurt real bad. But I need you to not defend Casey.
All right, what did he do tonight? Because
Do you want to be spoiled?
I typically don't watch the Tuesday episode until Wednesday.
Do you want to be spoiled?
Sure. The internet spoiled 90% of the episode. Sure.
Okay.
What do you do today?
So number one, he kisses the one Casa girl, Sydney. Sleeps with her. He goes to the Casa girl that he kissed the day before, tells her, and she gets pissed. Rightfully so, because she's like, I came here for you. And then he's like, whatever. So then he tells the boys the next morning that the Casa girl he slept with the night before, Sydney, he was like, yeah, it was more of a friendship cuddle, nothing more. And he essentially thinks he's the player of Casa More right now. That's what he thinks he is, right? So then the boys asked him, they were like, well, are you thinking of Anaya? Do you have like any sort of like anything in common? He's like, no, I'm not really thinking about her. We don't have anything in common. I'm like, okay, that's even worse. Then he talks to the AI robot himself, Corbin, and they talk about how nobody was behind his door. They talk about how, what else? Oh yeah, talk about, I have to beg for kisses with these girls. I have to beg for kisses. What? And then he goes, yeah, I'm the hot commodity. My stock is up.
Oh, no.
Like, you can't defend him, Double A.
Come on, Double A. Come on.
Okay, here's the deal.
You can't defend
No.
This
is another night. This is another night where KC put up 40, but he could have had 50.
No,
the last line again. He did this before. You just talk about he was blessed. He's exploring. He did everything right except the very last thing you said was you cannot publicly say your stock is high.
He said my stock is up.
Yeah, you just gave. Yeah, you're giving away the game. What are you doing?
And
King
then
Costa, what are you doing? Chill.
And then Corbin GPT goes, yeah, I haven't thought about Kenzie since I've been in here. We know you literally said in the challenge you was bringing somebody back day one. So we know you ain't been thinking about her.
Oh, that's tough.
When I tell you, Double A, when you watch this episode, I swear to God, if you defend Casey after this episode, I'm gonna look at you crazy. I'm gonna look at you real crazy.
I'll let you know Thursday. I'll let you know tomorrow. I will let you know. Everything you said about KC until the end, I have no problem. I mean, the man's exploring.
I mean,
Anaya. Again, I hope everything works out with her and
Carl.
Yeah, him. Eli had to take notes.
Oh yeah, I saw you doing your notes yesterday and your check boxes and oh yeah,
I had to take notes. But I hope because it's Love Island. You're supposed to explore. You're supposed to talk with other people. You're not supposed to be all booed. Are we ready to just give Trinity and Bryce the $10,000 right now?
Yes, honestly, they're the only couple that, for real, that both explored in Casa More, and they're both miserable. She literally cried because of how much she missed him.
Yeah, I'm
they're
just not
miserable.
I'm not a fan of all the tears too. Everybody just needs to chill out. Stop crying so much.
Eli, they don't know what day it is. They don't know what time it is. All they've had to eat is avocado toast, eggs, and turkey bacon. Not even turkey bacon.
They would love this.
Bacon.
They would love this.
They have to have orgies every night for challenges.
That is a lot. I understand. I mean, that's a lot.
They can't text each other. The girls have to get dressed twice a day, do their hair and makeup twice a day, and wear bikinis all day.
And they get ready to go out to the table outside.
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on there, but you just gotta regulate your emotions and understand that you're in it for the money. You may find love, but you know what? If you don't, you'll have enough money to go on a few dates when you get back home.
They are being psychologically tortured.
Yeah. Listen.
I'm listening.
I'm single right now, and I don't even regulate my emotions. So the hell with regulating my emotions on that show.
Yeah.
That's why I thought I was going to do really well on that show, and now I've watched a few episodes, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't think so.
Hold on. So Eli, what episode did you start with?
I started with Sunday.
Okay.
I tried to get through a little bit of yesterday's, and then today I watched a decent portion. I'm not doing the best because it is like you said, triggering at points. So I watched and I'm like, ooh, like
that's why that's why I couldn't watch Love Is Blind. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Until 20 minutes was Autumn. The first 20 minutes was pissing me off. I'm like, turn this off right now. We're talking about, we got to be compatible through personality, and then maybe be ready to marry somebody. Kick rocks. Get the hell out of here.
I'm just too much of an empath, and I'm watching these dudes.
Hell out of here.
Watching these dudes.
That show was pissing me off. You thought Brandon Sorsby had a bad day. I had a bad day watching that show. No.
I get it. I'm sitting here watching these couples go through it, and I'm like, I could not be on that show because they'd be like, let's pan over to Eli Moon. I'm in a corner crying. So I'm like, God, this is the most every day somebody's with somebody else. This doesn't make any sense. Why would I go to Fiji to do that when it already happens in Ohio? I don't understand.
Autumn, when you do this show next year and Love Is Blind, go on. I'm telling you right now, I will not contribute. But I'll contribute, but I will be as negative as possible. This dude's fake.
Yo, when I tell you, look, y'all talk about y'all being triggered. What y'all think this show triggers me? This show triggers me to the highest degree. I am always triggered when I watch the show because I understand where every single girl is coming from. I have dated, you know how many times I've dated a Sincere? You know how many times I've dated a Zach? A KC? Now, I've never dated an AI robot like Corbin GPT. That's a different thing.
You can type it in the prompt and get advice. My bad.
He's still, and him and Kenzie, honestly, him and Kenzie are so perfect for each other because they are both doing the exact same thing right now. And I bet you they're still going to end up back with each other.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, you know what? I don't think the percentage is at 0 anymore. I think they're so effed up that it will be 5%. I'm upping their percentage to 5.
They're both doing the exact same thing, and every time I see them both on screen, I'm like, you're literally gonna get back together. I know this. This is going to happen.
Do any splits on tonight's episode?
Yes, of course she did.
Of course. 2030 vision. 2030. You had her
2013 vision.
2013 vision. You had her medical classes, whatever. We don't claim her. We don't.
It's literally one of her classmates was like, yeah, I was watching with one of her teachers, and they turned to me and was like, I definitely didn't teach her that.
Now let me ask you. Let me ask you both this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking at free agency in the NBA, I guess which player do you think would best fit in the Villa?
Now?
Yeah, right now.
Oh, honestly,
name a star player. You don't need to go the 15th guy on the bench, a star player.
Honestly, because he's just a hot commodity right now, and I think he would be a hot commodity in the Villa, I'm gonna say Jaylen Brown. He's not a free agent, but he's on the chopping block, and he's being shopped around. Jaylen Brown would do exceptionally well in the Villa.
I would say Dylan Brooks. Because I
don't
feel
torture them girls like that.
Oh no!
I feel like Dylan Brooks, he would be playing the game. He'd be a mix of Sincere and KC. I think it could be somebody.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, but nightmares sell to America, and he'd probably survive a few more rounds. I don't know. I think Dylan.
By the way, Double A, Sincere just opens his mouth and lies now. He's not even trying no more.
I'm not
trying no more.
I'm Sincere. I'm good.
No more.
I hope Melanie I can't believe I'm rooting for Melanie because she was pissing me off in week 1. But I hope Melanie finds something. Did she make any progress tonight?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, she made progress.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so I'm gonna spoil it. So Trinity gets sad. She feels guilty about kissing Corey. She tells Corey, I like you. I like the vibe we had, but my heart is not in it. And Corey tells the girls, I'm interested in Melanie. So Corey and Melanie are now talking. And Corey essentially tells Melanie she deserves better. In the previews, we see him talk about him lying to her, but they don't actually say it in like the show. Like it's not actually like stated in the show that Sincere lied and like Corey's telling her. But Corey essentially makes it known to Melanie, you deserve better.
Mm-hmm.
He is not the person. And he essentially positions himself of like, hey, if there's a chance for you to keep me post Casa, would you do it? And she essentially says yes.
Okay.
All right. It's getting dicey, Double A.
I know that. Well, if my goal is for Sincere not to make the final.
Absolutely.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but that's my goal. I can't stand that dude. I can't stand him.
I think him or KC, at least one, if not both, are getting into the final.
KC's going the distance.
He can't. Double A. He really can't.
He knows how to pivot, Autumn. He knows how to go to the next before it gets too hot and the bridge completely burns down. He goes to something else.
I told y'all, if that video comes out next episode on Thursday and them girls get that video of what he's doing, he's not making it till next week.
Hold up. Eli.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask for something, but we have to go to my studio. Go to my studio. You know what?
Switch over.
Pull up KC in my studio.
Okay, hold on. Do we keep everybody and switching over? All right, perfect.
Well, technically, it is the midnight run right now. It is after midnight.
He knows what I need. What I need right now.
Look around with that.
Hold up. One more time.
He's just a little misunderstood, Autumn. It's all in good fun.
It made it no better that Zach is trying to look away to not laugh. And then Casey's like looking around and be like, oh, nobody really behind my door. Oh, that's really weird.
All the times we played that, I've never actually played. Roll that thing one more time.
Jay Uso with his
Zach's face as it's happening. He opens the door. Zach looks at
Oh. Oh.
Every single person is trying not to lose it.
Hey, listen, when he actually does get eliminated, his highlight package is going to be legendary.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Between that and the stupid faces he was making and then the joke when they were
but here's the thing. We said after night 1, KC doesn't have a chance. Like, this guy, done.
Look,
forget it. And then he has rebounded to Hall of Fame status ever since.
No. He is, you know what he's on, what level he's on right now? He's Draymond Green right now.
Oh, no.
Yes, that's what he is.
Oh, no.
He is Draymond Green. There's a certain subsection of the fan base that loves him. Absolutely. They are rooting for KC. KC is their man. And everybody else is like, get this man off my screen. You are taking up space. You're bricking shots right now. Again, the man said, my stock is up. And I'm getting kisses left and right.
Hey, he's Jordan out there.
No, he's Draymond Green right now. He's Draymond Green. He might have a good game 7. He might show up once in the playoffs, but right now, he you know what he is? He's 2015 Draymond Green. Remember, Draymond was kind of showing up in 2015 playoffs, but he really wasn't
doing
showing up.
better than that. He's
He's 2016 Draymond.
He's doing better. That's a terrible. He's not Draymond. Come on.
He's acting. He's Draymond right now. He's Draymond Green. He is. When I say he is at the point of like, what are you doing? What is he doing? It is bad. It's bad.
You've had a great night. We got to take a break and talk about Brandon Sorsby and my honey buns and peanut butter.
Yes, we have now switched over to the midnight run. So I'm handing it over to Double A and Eli. Eli, thank you, of course.
Yes.
I will see you next week. Double A, we'll talk more because you're gonna watch this episode and
I'll watch it.
No, you are not gonna be a Casey fan. If you are gonna be a Casey fan, I will sit you down myself and say, what is going on? What is wrong?
We'll take a break. We'll start Midnight Run in about 3 minutes here on the Inside Edge Network. Back after this.
I will see you guys tomorrow.